from a young age, he got my sisters into it. He got me into it. So our whole family are really keen. I started when I was 10.
My mum sailed when she was young. She still does sail now. She does really well. So she's probably a role model for me.
At times there are decisions which I want to make because I think I'm right. And then Megan will tell me I'm wrong. And then whoever is right or wrong obviously gets... So it can cause a couple of problems. But it also has it works out so well.
I would love to be national champion one day. Whether that happens, I don't know, but that would be my goal.
Yeah, I agree. National champion would be insane.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Sportscast Jersey. Today we are joined by Ollie Voak and Megan Roworth, who are both sailors on the island. How are we doing, both of you?
Yeah, we're good.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Good to have you on. What I kind of want to ask first of all, I suppose it's an individual question in a way, is when did you first get into this? Well, when do you remember the first time you actually went out there and had a go? Go with Ollie first.
Yeah, I do, because I've got 3 older sisters and they all sailed Hobie Cats. And then Gordon Burgess, who organises and runs the Hobie fleet, he actually lives up the road from where I live. So basically from a young age, he got my sisters into it. He got me into it. So our whole family are really keen. I started when I was 10. So quite a long time ago now.
Yeah. How about you, Megan?
So my parents both sailed, and then I think I first learnt to sail when I was 10 or 11 as well at St. Catherine's. But I learnt to sail lasers, which is like sailing by yourself, whereas you learnt to sail Hobie Cats, which is like a bit more fun. There's 2 of you on the boat.
Yeah.
And then so I did like the courses, learned to sail courses, and then I kind of did a bit of competing, but didn't love it that much. So I kind of fell out of it a bit. And then did a bit of it at uni. And then when I came back from uni, it was COVID, but kind of we were still doing a bit of sailing on the island, weren't we? So
yeah,
I think we could still do a bit more than the UK could do, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We both did our dinghy instructor course, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we basically were both instructors. So Megan had taught at St. Catherine's and I'd taught at Royal Channel. So our paths hadn't really crossed until we both taught on the same sailing course. And then from there, we basically thought, well, why don't we try and sail together?
Yeah.
Obviously, we did quite well in our first few races, which we were excited about.
The rest is kind of history. Yeah, the rest is history. So I just want to, before we go into detail about what you two have done and how you first how you found it when you first did get together and had to go together. But as in the sport itself, obviously people have probably seen it, they've seen pictures probably. How would you describe to someone who doesn't have a clue about the sport what the sport is and what different kind of formats there are as well?
Yeah, I suppose sailing generally it's
quite broad, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of different aspects, a lot of different types of boats.
Yeah, because some people might do yacht sailing or bigger boat sailing, and there's dinghy sailing. So the yachts, you kind of, I don't know, there might be 5 or 7 people on board, whereas the dinghy side where we started, there could only be 1 or 2 people. But the social side is all where it's a really social sport.
Yeah. And there's so they do loads of competitions here for yachts or dinghies. There's like a wide range of different boats you can sail.
But I suppose what we do with the Hobie Cats, they're called fast cats. And so the way I'd describe it is probably like, I don't know, when you're driving along the avenue or something and you want to stick your head out the window.
Yeah.
You do that, but you're only 2 feet off the water. Yeah. So that's kind of the feeling you get. You get a real adrenaline rush.
Thrill,
Yeah.
The
boats are so light themselves that they only need 5 to 10 knots before you're sailing quite quick. And we have harnesses and trapeze harnesses, so you're hanging out the side. It's a really active sport. It is good,
but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures. You sent pictures to me today, and just some of them just look so cool and so fun. Obviously, it's hard at the same time. That goes without saying. But so, how long did it take for you to kind of get good at it, I guess, and really learn how to compete and get to that level so you can compete, I guess?
Yeah.
So now I say we're definitely still learning, we're still getting there, but probably, I don't know, as a kid, we both kind of did like little training sessions.
Yeah. I actually wasn't very good at racing when I was young. Like I was really bad until probably, I don't know, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, I kind of had to think about it more. And I suppose the club where I was sailing, it was more the Royal Channel Islands Yacht Club. They were getting people into sailing to have fun, not to race. So that's kind of why I love it so much, is because when I started, it wasn't about the racing, whereas it's only because I've grown now to be so competitive, which I definitely am. But yeah, you're probably.
No, I was the same. I wasn't very good as a kid. I didn't really have the like attention span for it. I was kind of just got a bit bored quite quickly, especially sailing on your own. I was just like, this isn't that fun. But as I got older, and then when we first started sailing together, I was like, oh, this is actually quite fun.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
pretty like soon after we started sailing together, we realized like this is quite fun. So then we started doing more training, more and more kind of built on that.
Yeah, definitely. And one question I do want to ask is, as you grew up through the sport and in the sport, was there role models that you looked up to maybe at the club and maybe thought, oh, he's quite good or she's quite good, I want to be like them? What were the kind of role models growing up?
I suppose, from my side, it would be like, obviously, I don't know really. I suppose Gordon Burgess, who runs the club, like, he's got so much effort and enthusiasm that he puts into it. He's the reason that we sail Hobie Cats.
Yeah.
So I've got to give him a lot of credit for that.
And he's been doing it since he was, I don't know.
Well,
young.
he brought the first Hobie Cat to Jersey in 1983, I think.
Yeah.
So
he started it,
yeah. So he brought them over, sailed them in St. Juan's in the surf, and then probably the last 20 years they've been at Gunsight. So
definitely Gordon,
yeah, but it's definitely.
So was there for Megan as well? Was there any kind of female kind of figures who were doing the sport back then, or was there anyone that you looked up to, or was that short?
Not so much, to be honest. Like the boats that we sail, so there's a helm and a crew, and the helm is the person that kind of steers the boat, and pretty much every single helm is male, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a shame, really.
Probably quite a male dominated sport. I don't know. Saying that, my mum sailed when she was young. She still does sail now. She does really well, so she's probably a role model for me.
Is that something that people in the sport want to kind of improve and want to? We'll get onto it more in towards the end of the podcast, but I want to include it a bit here as well. And the female participation and especially maybe girls coming up and start them young kind of thing. Is that something that those in the club that want to improve and push?
Yeah, definitely. It has been spoken about, hasn't it?
Yeah, especially for like Island Games. They were trying to increase their quota for kind of basically widen the demographic. But I know
just hasn't really got there just yet.
I think there's some, it's all like tiered hierarchy and getting through the levels to get things approved for it to happen.
Yeah.
But it kind of where we are, we probably see quite a few young kind of females starting to learn sailing, whether, from the age of like 8 to 16. So groups can tend to be, when we used to instruct, used to be fairly mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just trying to keep those people that learn to sail, like trying to keep them in the squad, get them like engaged and trying to keep them on so that they can progress through the fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah. It's definitely something to work on, and I'm sure it will get there. Moving on a little bit, coming on to you two, and when did this formidable kind of team start, and when did you first kind of see each other and think, yeah, let's team up and let's do this?
I think it was 2020. Was it 2021? 2020?
It might have been
2020.
It was around when COVID started, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 2020. We were both back from uni teaching in the summer. So we taught sailing together. And then I think there was the Jersey Regatta coming up.
Yeah.
So every year there's the Jersey Regatta, which is the main sailing event, which is a 3-day event. Happens in September time normally.
Yeah.
And Ollie kind of was like, oh, I need someone to sail with me.
Yeah.
Are you free?
It worked out all right. I think because I actually, before that, used to sail with my sister Hannah.
Yeah.
So we competed together for ages. And I think Hannah had either moved to the UK or was unavailable. So then it kind of made me kind of look elsewhere, I suppose. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
So,
but that was the first time I sailed Hobie Cats. I hadn't
Yeah.
sailed Hobie Cats properly ever. So it was a bit different to what I was used to. But
yeah.
we did quite well in that event,
Yeah.
which surprised us. We were kind of like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is quite
Yeah.
cool.
How good is it that you do work as a kind of team? You mentioned it before, obviously being a social sport, but this style of sailing, I guess, takes that to the next level. You get to really know who your I guess it's a teammate, for one of the better terminology, but how good is that, having that relationship and being in it with someone else in a competition?
It definitely makes sailing easier and harder because at times there are decisions which I want to make because I think I'm right, and then Megan will tell me I'm wrong. And then whoever is right or wrong obviously gets, so it can cause a couple of problems, but it also has like, it works out so well because your knowledge of like tactics and understanding the wind is much better than mine because I've only sailed with other people. I've never had the experience really of sailing monohulls and lasers like you did. So, but whereas because I've sailed Hobies for 15 years, I know how to make them go faster or I can tune them. So as a pair, I think we work very well.
Yeah, definitely. I think also, you kind of need to have that for the long endurance races where you're stuck on a boat together. You kind of have to
someone to chat to.
Yeah, work together well. Otherwise, it's going to be not too fun.
Yeah. In terms of competitions and that side of things, obviously you get to compete on island, but you get to go away and compete off island as well, and against so many different teams and countries and what have you. So how good is that side of things as well, to challenge yourself and push yourself?
Oh yeah, it's great. We find it really fun. It's when we go away, like it's not really about how well we can do. It's more like having fun, learning is the main thing. Because you go away and compete against so many teams that have been sailing, their whole lives against like a really high level of other teams.
There's no real like age demographic. When you say like, oh, what's the kind of sailor kind of, what do you expect? It could be anyone. It could be someone who's 10 years old, or it could be someone who's 70 or 80.
Yeah.
So, and by going away to like the Europeans, obviously there's loads of teams, but there's loads of countries, and all the countries have different kind of ways of sailing a boat, or they'll have different techniques, or they'll rig something differently. They'll have like the extra edge. And so you only get to see that and learn from them when you're there with them. And the Hobie fleet, like, it's like basically there's a saying like the Hobie way of life. And it's that wherever you go and whatever, you kind of pass your knowledge on. So if you see someone and you want to ask them a question, you just go and do it. Whereas at other competitions, people are a bit like secretive or they don't want to
Yeah,
share.
like keep the tactics to themselves.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So whereas we're all there trying to build everyone's kind of skill and knowledge. So the only way you do that is by sharing. So
yeah, I think that's incredible, and how you're going to learn as well from that. Obviously, you're both still so young and still
yeah.
growing well, not into the sport, but still growing and still got that room to grow.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's going to be absolutely fun, like so good to go and speak to those people, and there's going to be some real top tier people out there as well.
Yeah.
What's been like your highlight away kind of competition that you've gone to, and one that really sticks out to you both?
Spain
Probably, yeah, all the
or
nationals
nationals?
last year.
Yeah.
Um,
I suppose they both had their own
yeah.
go nationals.
Probably the British nationals last year. So that was the second time we went. And last year, I think was there 3 days of racing?
Could have been three or four. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
3 days of racing, and on the first day we got
We,
three firsts, and we were just like in absolute shock. We were like, "Oh my God,
yeah,
this is insane."
it was nuts. I mean, like when we arrived on the first day as well, everyone arrives the day before, so you kind of you set your boats up, and because we come from Jersey, we take it on the ferry,
Mm,
so we kind of de-rig it completely, and then you see everyone else rigging their boats, and you realize, oh, actually, they're ex-national champion,
yeah,
they're ex-world champion. Oh, you've got these
yeah,
people over there. You're kind of thinking.
yeah.
So that was just that first
That
day
was
was
probably,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah,
We were on quite a buzz after that.
yeah,
Yeah,
We ended up coming fourth overall, which
yeah,
we were still really, really pleased about,
yeah,
obviously. But yeah, that was probably our best
yeah.
result.
yeah, definitely. To come fourth in the nationals is incredible, and nah, fair play. And what was your? I know you went nationals overall, but Ollie, what are you gonna say?
So we did another trip. We went to the World Championships in Spain in 2022, and that was the first Worlds that either of us had done.
I think it was
So,
oh no, not quite the first.
oh no,
Yeah.
it was the first Worlds that had been hosted in Europe in like 18 years or so, how a
Yeah.
long time.
Mm.
Yeah,
So there was like a real buzz around it that,
Mm.
you had Australians, Brazil, you had loads of non-European teams congregating together.
Yeah.
And that made for some very, very challenging racing.
I think how
yeah,
many people there were together? Like 200?
Yeah, 200. There was over 400 like competitors,
Yeah.
and we all stay in a big village. So, it's just like a huge sailing event, really.
yeah.
Yeah. No, but
Ha-
that was like so much fun as well. Like we
Yeah,
didn't do like well or anything, but we just learned so much and had like a
yeah,
really fun time. And it was our first like big competitive event where we were like, whoa, like there's a
Yeah,
whole nother world of
yeah.
sailing out there.
And what
it,
was great actually is that Jersey as an island, we took how many? We had quite a
Yeah,
few
like
teams there.
6 or 7 teams. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was about 20 of us in total who all went
Mm.
down, and
yeah,
that was really good.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. One question I do want to ask you is how far do you want to go in the sport, and how far are you willing to push it to really rise in the sport, I guess?
I think
Hey,
we definitely want to keep going away and keep competing and
yeah,
keep going to the like Europeans and the nationals. I
yeah,
think, well, I don't know
yeah,
about you, but I would love to be national champion one day.
yeah,
Whether that happens, I don't know, but that would be my goal.
yeah. I agree. National champion would be like insane,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
especially that like the Jersey standard as well is increasing so rapidly because so many more like loads more teams are going away more regularly.
Mm.
yeah,
So we're all able to share. I mean, everyone's getting better. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
It's not like one team is getting so much better than everyone else that you're kind of, yeah, plain sailing. But
Mm.
no.
no,
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah.
that'd be the goal.
yeah. That's good. That well, the goal is amazing, and I really do hope you can go away and do it. But what you were saying about the standard increasing and just keeps getting better in Jersey. That can only be good for the sport in Jersey. And one thing I want to say about going away, how obviously you're doing it as a team yourselves, but how, I'd imagine the Jersey flag is somewhere along the way there as well. And how proud are you that you can go away and represent the kind of island in some way?
It is good. It's really good. And
Yeah.
for such a small island,
Yeah.
we have such a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of the teams down at the Europeans will know where Jersey is because, like, even at the Worlds, we put Jersey on the map.
Yeah.
We were able to say, this is us, this is where we're from. Come check out, like, look at our sailing area. We're in a bay surrounded by a stunning coastline, sunny most of the time, windy pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So,
And I
yeah,
think like most of the competitions we enter, like they automatically put us as the UK, but we always ask to change to be put as Jersey so that we're representing Jersey, not just
yeah,
England, which is good.
yeah.
Definitely. What I'll ask a few more questions about you guys in a little bit, but encouraging more people to get into the sport. You just said um, the level is just getting higher and higher, but you've also said how it's such a social sport, how it's good on that side, and that's why you actually fell in love with it in the first place. So, how much would you encourage men, women, boys, girls to kind of come along, have a try, get taught by you two, and then just see how they might enjoy the sport? How much would you encourage that?
I think we would love more people to get involved because it's like I said, it's so much fun. Every competition, there's always a social event afterwards. Like all the summer regattas, there's always like a 3-day event with 3 socials. It's a lot of fun and everyone's like so friendly.
Yeah.
There's a great community and there's always like people to ask like questions if you're unsure of anything. Like everyone's really happy to help with anything. And there's always spare boats flying around somewhere on there.
That is true. Yeah. We can always, if anyone is ever interested in trying to get involved, obviously I can help find a spare boat because we've got loads of unused ones and club ones as well. So, you know, it's worth a go for
Yeah.
anyone. And also what happens on the water stays on the water. So because collisions do happen, there's arguments or whatever happens on the water, by the time you're at the club after, socializing, chilling in the sun, you chat about what has happened or whatever, and it's all fine.
Yeah, yeah. How much? Obviously, you both said you teach, and how much do you enjoy that side of things and passing on your knowledge that you built up over the years and passing on to kind of newbies and those who are kind of wanting to learn more as well?
It's very rewarding,
Mm.
like being able to share like what you've learned with someone else and then see them do it better than you. As much as it can be like, oh no, what? It's definitely like, it's a good feeling. So, and yeah, hopefully we can encourage more people to give it a go, even from a young age, or even if as an
Yeah,
adult,
there's
really.
definitely like there's learn to sail courses for like kids, but there's also like adult courses. So there's something for all ages, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And in terms of yourself, so you're part of the club and you've been part of the club for years. I put it down a little question. How do you think the sport could improve and grow a little bit more? What could be done just to push it along a little bit?
Very
Ooh.
political. No.
Yeah. Tricky question.
I
I don't
think,
know.
well, Jersey as a location has like an incredible potential to have a really, really good sailing school, and I'm sure for many other sports as well. Um, St. Aubyn's Fort is a prime example of, that's where I learned to sail. That was through the government scheme when I was a kid. And at the moment it's got a bit of use, but it could have a bit more. So, and actually all the sailing clubs in the island, like St Helier, St Catherine's, Royal Channel Islands Yacht Club, they're actually slowly coming together. So whereas I think they used to be very separate, they're now kind of interchangeable almost. If you want to sail, you can go to any of those and you'll be passed from contact. And yeah, I think if that continues to happen, and if anything, which it might happen with the fort, I'm sure, and anything to do with that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think like
Don't know how to say it
more,
without
yeah,
going into
more funding always would
Yep.
be
Simple.
like
Yeah.
a good thing. Like especially with the sailing competitions, they're so expensive to go to, like on the ferry, and then you've got to drive down. So
Yeah.
just more funding put into the clubs to enable like people to go away to compete, to bring back knowledge and share it with everyone.
Yeah,
That
because
would probably
not
be-
everyone, like we appreciate we're very lucky in that we're able to go and compete in these competitions, but there are people who can't. So yeah,
No, spot on.
funding.
And I think everything you said there is spot on. So hopefully, even through sponsorship or things like that, funding can come and help those, because you need to. Jersey's small, so you need to go off island and you need to get that extra, I guess, exposure to and experience, like you say. So I agree with you on the funding side of things.
Something also, actually, I'm thinking of the funding side. It doesn't necessarily have to be us going away. Like, I know that we enjoy going away and stuff, but at the same time,
funding can help get people here.
yeah, funding for coaches to come to Jersey. That's, we've got everyone here that are keen to learn. So that's kind of where money could be put to better, good use. I don't know.
No, good.
Yeah.
No, spot on. Kind of final question from me, for you guys. What's kind of next for you guys? What's the next competition? And yeah, first of all, what's the next competition that we should be looking out for that you two are going to get involved in?
Well, we've got a couple local ones, and then the main one is the Europeans in Italy, so Lake Garda. That's the last 2 weeks of July, so like 6 weeks away, something like that.
Getting
so
close.
we're driving down to Italy to compete in the Europeans, so that'll be another fun one.
Yeah.
And then
August nationals.
Nationals in August, yeah.
So, and for both these events, we trailer our boats to them. So in Italy, it will probably be, well, it's 2 days driving there, 2 days driving back. But we have a big trailer which looks cool when it's got the boats in. Yeah.
No, nice. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you get on, and it's exciting to see Islanders going away and competing at such events. So any kind of coverage of that is needed, I think. Final kind of question. This can be for both of you, and I've not actually wrote it down for the notes, so a bit on the spot here. How would you describe the sport in 3 words? Just off the top of your head. Yeah, I'll let whoever comes out first go first.
Exciting.
Oh, you beat me to it. Exhilarating.
Yeah.
Friendly.
Friendly.
How do you say?
Is that 3? Exciting, exhilarating, and friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm sure we could have thought of some better ones. I don't know.
No, spot on. Thank you for both joining me today in this podcast. I've enjoyed talking about it and learning a few things myself. So hopefully those listening and watching will do the same. And yeah, good luck with everything going forward as well.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Yeah, it was a very nice chatting to you too.
Brilliant. Thank you as well to anyone who did watch and listen to this episode. Another episode of Sportscast Jersey is coming soon.